Okay, the U.S. Let's see. The U.S. fluoridation program has massively failed to achieve one of its key objectives, and that was to lower dental decay rates while holding down dental fluorosis. Forgot to tell you, residents. Yeah, there's a negative part to, or a way that you can see if someone's been over-fluoridated. You get what's called dental fluorosis, which can show up as anything from white spots to actually browning of the teeth that now requires correction, which makes more work for dentists, I'm sure. But the bottom line is it shows that you've ingested so much. And it's not just your teeth. It's not like the fluoride doesn't, doesn't stop at, where am I going, right? The fluoride gets in the bloodstream. Where am I going? Well, I'm just going to the teeth. I wasn't going to the tongue. Okay. Wasn't going to lips. All right, the eyes, the feet, the skin. This is the problem with it. Systemically, when you absorb, in this case, a known toxin, a known carcinogen, come on, folks. This is what, you are the Sharon residents. You have to decide. You have to start, questioning things. If things aren't right, why should we pay taxes to harm Sharon residents? It doesn't make sense to me. All right. Anyway, dental fluorosis, we already told you about that, means, it's just it's a sign that you've had too much fluoride, okay, and we have that in this wonderful town on occasions. Okay, the level of fluoride put into water is about 1 part per million. I got my Sharon report here I'll bring out for you, where I thought it was interesting when Sharon sends out their water supply report, or water quality report, they list fluoride as a naturally occurring substance that comes out of the ground and an additive. To understand, we do it as an additive, and it costs us money. So as I go on and I start getting into the real negative aspects of water fluoridation, maybe you want to wonder why we would possibly even consider putting something in our water supply, once again, mass medicating the populace of Sharon, okay, thinking that it could even harm one resident. The legality end of that is not good for the town of Sharon, but more important, the moral aspect of mass medicating someone without their agreement and approval. I mean, what, do you have to move out of town if you want to just have regular water without additives? I mean, once again, brought to you by who and who's it benefiting? So, okay, the level of fluoride, okay, blah, blah, blah. There are no benefits, only risks. Here we go. This one you'll love, or whatever. This is from the Institute of Medicine, a 1997 study. I believe Estrand was the scientist. Anyway, there are no benefits, only risks for infants ingesting this heightened level of fluoride at such an early age. This is, like I say, the National Institutes of Health came out and said, stop feeding it to children. Don't make the baby's bottle formula with it. Why would we do this? When I say do this, has anybody told all the infants in Sharon? Let alone have they provided the means to take the fluoridation out of the water so we don't harm these infants. All right. Fluoride is a cumulative poison. On average, only 50% of the fluoride we ingest each day is excreted through the kidneys. That's good. You get rid of half of it. The remainder accumulates in our bones. Okay. That's not a, okay. Fluoride is very biologically active. You'll love this. Even in low concentrations. It interferes with the hydrogen bonding. That was a study done in 1981 by Emsley, and inhibits numerous enzymes. That was Waldbot in 1978 who found that out. Okay, when complexed with aluminum, fluoride interferes with G proteins. That was a Bigley study. Okay, such interactions give aluminum fluoride complexes the potential to interfere with many hormonal and neurochemical signals. Whoa. Why would we put this in our water? Okay, fluoride has been shown to be mutagenic, causing chromosome damage and to interfere with enzymes involved with DNA repair in a variety of cell tissues. This was a Japanese gentleman, if I pronounce it right, Tusitsi in 1984, Kasperi, Kishi in 93, and Mashishi in 1996. Recent studies have also found a correlation between fluoride exposure and chromosome damage in humans. Folks, I know, gee, this guy comes on my TV. He says he's got the real story. I must care about you a lot to go through this, but what I want you to understand is we don't have to. We can choose not to, mass medicate the populace and not to put in something that has been known to harm people. And if it harms, once again, only one child in Sharon, we have to stop doing it. It's wrong. Okay. Okay, fluoride forms complexes. Okay, how about this one? Rats fed for 1 year with 1 part per million, okay, fluoride in their water, okay, using sodium fluoride or aluminum fluoride, had a metaphorical changes to their kidneys and brains. Okay. So anyway, it stays in your system. It implants itself. Mostly it'll stay and concentrate in bones, but all at the same time it's floating around your system. And now when we get into the neurological stuff as we go through this report or whatever, we'll ask ourselves why, why would we do this? If it's going to increase ADHD or anything, if it's going to, anyway. Aluminum fluoride, okay, was recently nominated by the Environmental Protection Agency, National Institutes of Environmental Health Sciences for testing by the National Toxicology Program. Hey, they're waking up. We can wake up before them. We should err on the safe side, okay? It costs us nothing to take it out of the water. We just stop putting it in. Why don't we err on the safe side? Once again, it's not it's in this case the element, okay? It's not something that's needed for us. When I say for us, it's not needed for humans. We don't have to put it in. Let's wait and find out. When I say wait and find out, we don't have to put toxins in our water to figure out that it's bad later on. We can wait. Okay, that was all right. Because, due to its, by the way, I want to finish, due to its known neurotoxicity. Did you get that? God, this kills me, This is according to the EPA, the National Institutes of Health or whatever, come out and say, high health research priority. They want to do it now. Why? Because they know it's known neurotoxicity. Yeah, I guess years ago you'd be a kook if you said, hey, we should not put fluoride in. And by the way, not everybody does. Okay? As a matter of fact, towns as local to us as North Attleboro is, deciding, hey, to yank the stuff out. Come on, this is an educated audience. You people know what's going on. Do some of your own research. Ask questions. Stop putting this fluoride in our water, okay? Thank you. That's all right. Anyway, animal experiments show that fluoride accumulates in the brain and exposure alters mental behavior in a manner consistent with a neurotoxic agent. That was Molnick. This gal, Phyllis Molnick, who you may have seen in the first show, worked at the Forsyth Institute. And when she published her findings, all of a sudden she lost her job. Wow, that's kind of like when the study came out at Harvard where they said, well, fluoride was linked to bone cancer. All of a sudden that study got pulled off by a gentleman at Harvard who gets paid by Colgate. Are you getting it yet? Do you see what's happening? Anyone who stands up, it's like stepping on the third rail, someone said once. Boy, you can't say anything bad about it. More recent animal experiments have reported that fluoride can damage the brain. That was Wang in 97, Guan in 98, Werner in 98, Zhao in 98, Zhang in 99, Lu, okay, gosh. How about, let's see, in the impact learning behavior, or whatever, where I was going with this. Oh, why I wanted to bring this up is, think about it. Any of you in the educational systems, okay, the Sharon educational systems, how many children do we have on IEPs? How many children require what we would consider special ed because they have not so much a learning disorder, but whether it's the hyperactivity or the attention deficit? Boy, haven't we seen those rates grow? When are we going to wake up? There's people that say it affects the brain, it affects the bone, it affects the thyroid, okay? It affects the pineal gland and stuff. When? When are we going to learn? I mean, you see the examples all around you, yet we sit back and think, well, everything's okay. Make no changes. Cancer's gone up, 10 times over. And come on, folks. We don't need to put a neurotoxin in our water. And once again, we're told for the teeth, and so why not for the brain? Why not for the eyes? How come we're not drinking a cocktail? How come these people aren't mixing up the wonder water for us? Let's get back to good old H2O, a thought for the day. All right, what do we got? I'm up to about 20 or so. Okay, 5 studies in China show that the lowering of IQ in children associated with fluoride exposure. Folks, come on. Okay, studies by Jennifer Luke, this is in 2001, we'll go another one, showed that fluoride accumulates in the human pineal gland to very high levels. In her PhD thesis, Luke has shown that in animal studies, the fluoride reduces melatonin, I've heard of that production, and leads to an earlier onset of puberty. Okay, what's been happening? Just keep an idea. This is something that we pay to put in our water. Are you upset yet? Is it time that you stand up and say stop it? Okay, anyway, okay, it bears noting that according to the Department of Health and Human Services, okay, 1991 fluoride exposure in fluoridated communities is estimated to range from 1.6 to 6.6 milligrams a day, which is in a range that overlaps the dose they said, which should be 2.3 to 4.5, way high, okay, shown to decrease the functioning of the human thyroid. Well, let's think about that. You ever know anybody with thyroid problems?